While her husband served overseas in the Marines, Monroe began working in a local factory in Van Nuys, California. By the time her husband returned from the war, her career as a model had started taking off, 1940s. Despite her career success, Marilyn's personal life was struggling. After being signed, she dyed her hair a lighter shade of blonde, which soon became her trademark, 1947 in Los Angeles, California. Monroe's first film, Ladies of the Chorus, was released in 1948. Marilyn Monroe presents Photoplay magazine's Dream House contest, winner Virginia McAllister and her son with the key to a new house in June of 1949. Marilyn Monroe fills out a form before auditioning for a play at the Players Ring Theater on March 12, 1950. Marilyn Monroe, wearing a red nightgown trimmed with black lace, sorts her fan mail shortly after her film, The Asphalt Jungle, was released. Monroe sits on the curb to apply her makeup in 1952. Marilyn Monroe takes a shower in her 20th Century Fox dressing room on November 8, 1952, in Los Angeles, California. She worked with acting coach Natasha Lytis throughout her career, once practicing together for 48 hours straight. Marilyn Monroe and Jane Russell on the set of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes in 1953. In a photograph taken July 5, 1953, Marilyn Monroe is helped during a swimsuit fitting. Betty Grable, Lauren Bacall, and Marilyn Monroe pose for a portrait on the set of How to Marry a Millionaire in 1953 in Los Angeles, California. Despite becoming an international star on the rise, Monroe struggled with performance anxiety related to her acting. Marilyn Monroe serves up lunch in a mess line during her February 1954 trip to visit American soldiers stationed in Korea. Marilyn Monroe in the enlisted men's mess hall at Headquarters Company, 2nd Infantry Division, near Seoul, South Korea, during her tour in 1954. Monroe shot her famous skirt-flying scene on the set of The 7-Year Itch on October 15, 1954. Marilyn Monroe is seen in a candid moment on the street in March 1955 in New York City, New York. Marilyn Monroe takes the subway from Grand Central Station on March 24, 1955, in New York City, New York. Marilyn Monroe reads the book, To the Actor on the Technique of Acting, by Michael Chekhov, at the Ambassador Hotel in March 1955 in New York City. Marilyn Monroe wears an embroidered robe that reads The Ambassador on March 24, 1955, at the Ambassador Hotel in New York City. Marilyn Monroe gets help dressing from Judy Goetz in her hotel room on March 24, 1955, at the Ambassador Hotel in New York City, New York. Marilyn Monroe gets ready to go see the play Cat on a Hot Tin Roof in her hotel room on March 24, 1955, at the Ambassador Hotel in New York City, New York. Marilyn Monroe signing autographs for children upon her arrival at Idlewild Airport from the coast on June 2, 1956. Marilyn Monroe waves as she and her husband, American playwright Arthur Miller, go for a drive in Miller's convertible car, Roxbury, Connecticut, July 7, 1956. Marilyn Monroe playing softball in a bathing suit on a beach. Marilyn Monroe gazes at her husband, Arthur Miller, as they dance at an April in Paris ball held at the Waldorf Astoria in New York City on April 11, 1957. Monroe and Miller, right, along with Monroe's close friend, American photographer Milton Green, stop for hot dogs in New York City on their way to Connecticut. American financier Winthrop Aldridge listens to Marilyn Monroe as she whispers to him at a table during the April in Paris ball at the Waldorf Astoria, New York. In her apartment, Marilyn Monroe pours a drink as her husband, Arthur Miller, and theatrical producer Kermit Bloomgarden sit in the background, circa 1958. Marilyn Monroe attends a party held in her honor, wearing a black dress and white gloves at the Beverly Hills Hotel on July 8, 1958, in Beverly Hills, California. Marilyn Monroe peeps out from behind a curtain of a train sleeping quarter on the set of the 1959 film Some Like It Hot. Actors Yves Montand, Marilyn Monroe, and Gene Kelly laugh while having a coffee break on the set of director George Cukor's film Let's Make Love in 1960. Marilyn Monroe and screenwriter Arthur Miller on the set of the film The Misfits. Monroe cuddles up to a small dog during the shooting of The Misfits in the Nevada desert, 1960. Marilyn Monroe posing on a farm in the 1950s.